hope that I'll be speaking about. But I'm here to speak with you today about hope for your finances. Hope for your finances. But before I get started, these hope chats, I just want to give a shout out to Pastor Sarah for being committed. Everybody stand up. Shout out to Pastor Sarah. Now I want each of you to say, thank you, Pastor Sarah. Thank you, Pastor Sarah. So listen, when I do, or when I host many events, I ask the women that I speak with to write down one thing that they wouldn't want anyone to know about their finances and who they are angry at. Because many of us know, raise your hands if you know that sometimes what's too tough to speak, what you can't say out loud, you can write down, right? So I want to just read you some of these without any names included because they never show names. And then I'm going to ask you to take out a note or make a mental note of something that you may be too ashamed or embarrassed to share with others about your finances and who you may be angry with, okay? Fair enough? So the first one that I have, I don't want you to know that on my 30th birthday, I filed for bankruptcy. I'm mad at my mom who enabled my impulsive spending. Show of hands, anybody can relate. Woo. Way in the back. I have another one. I live in a house with my husband that we can't afford. It's worth $500,000. And it makes us look good. But we can barely even earn money. I blame my lack of humility. Anybody can relate? My last one. I would not want anyone to know how much debt I owe. I'm mad at myself for trying to keep up with my social environment. Anyone can relate? Yes? So I want you to take a few seconds to write down what your own personal story is. What are you too ashamed to share about your finances, and who are you angry with? That's what I want you to do for me. Because today I want to talk to you about how anger destroys financial hope. Financial hope, or our desire for financial hope, is often rooted in our desire to prove to others. We want to prove to ourselves that we are worthy, and we use spending as a healing power. Yes, that we are worthy, we use spending as our healing power. We want to prove to others what we have or what we're able to purchase with the money that we earn from the titles that are rented at work. We want to prove to our parents that we can give ourselves what they were not able to give us. Or we want to prove to our parents that we can outdo them because we are angry with them. Now I want to share my own personal story because remember last night Pastor Sarah said, what we really can't speak, we can't heal from, right? Remember that last night? So my personal story is this.
You can't sit right.
When I started working what I would call a decent job, and I started to move up the ranks and earn more money, now I realize it was just a little bit of money. It wasn't a lot of money. And the thing that I wanted, I said to myself, if I get this position, I'm going to buy this car. And I remember my mom saying, Marsha, listen, you're making more money, but you ain't making that kind of money, girl. I thought my mama was hating on me. I thought she was hating on me, but she was right. To the point, everyone, that I went to the car dealership to get this car. A BMW, by the way, I'll just say it. It's what I wanted. And my sweet husband, stand-up husband, over there, I was at the dealership with this man, fussing, arguing at the dealership. Fussing, you know why? Because I remember him saying, we're not gonna get this car, we're gonna get that Volkswagen. We looked at it. We're not gonna get this. And I thought he was hating too. But here's what I discovered. Listen to me. Everybody quiet. What I discovered, I was about the age of 13, maybe 12. And my parents got a divorce. And when my parents were together, I could get everything. My dad could give me everything that I wanted. It was my brother and I. They got divorced. But when my mom moved, she didn't even have enough money to move, like to an apartment of her own, or that's why I love finances so much. That's always what. She couldn't even move to an apartment of her own, definitely not a house of her own. And we moved from a house with my dad. My mom moved us to a trailer. It was a trailer my uncle owned in South Carolina. Shout out to 803, any 803 here? We moved to that trailer. And I realized that at the time, I couldn't really get nothing. I was junior high school, going to high school, couldn't get graduation pictures, had to get like a borrowed prom dress, all the things. And what I realized is that BMW, that car that I wanted, was a reflection of the things that I never got when I was younger. I never wanted to be, what I really wanted was maybe the Barbie car when I was younger, or I saw the other girls having like their own cars, driving them, their daddies taking them. So who was I mad at, right? That was my shame part, so now you know my shame. I was mad at my mom and my dad. I was mad at both of them. I don't even know why I was mad, but I was mad at both of them. So what I'm sharing with you is that oftentimes our desire for financial hope never comes to fruition because we are frustrated, we are bitter, we're angry, and we never release it. I want everybody to say release. Release. So when we think about ourselves, about what we may be missing, we fail to address who we are angry with. So no matter what you hear about, here's how to budget, here's how to manage your debt, here's how to increase your credit score, here's how to grow your money by way of investing, here's how to start your own business, and you realize that year after year, it never happens for you, no matter how much money you earn, because you haven't released the hurt, okay? So if you have written down for me what your embarrassing financial moment is and who you are angry with, now you have that. And here's what I want you to do next. We're going to talk about money scripts. Everybody say money scripts. Money scripts are stories about money that may or may not be true, and you pick them up over time. And there are different money scripts, and all of us may have a different money script, so I want you to write these down, okay? I want you to write these down, and I want you to find yourself in one of these. So the first money script is money avoidance. Money avoidance means that you avoid thinking about money or managing money. You just figure everything will work out. God will make it happen. YOLO, you only live once. It'll happen for me. It happened for her, it'll happen for me. That's one. Money worship is the next one. Money worship means that money equals freedom and happiness, which often leads to being a workaholic, because your belief is that if I can earn more money, then I can have the things that I want. Not always true. Money worship could also mean that you're the check writer for your family. You're the check writer for your family. And if you're not careful, you may resent that, but it also makes you feel powerful. Money status means that your net worth is your self-worth. You believe that success is attained by acquiring more money and material possessions. And then the last one is money vigilance. It's a combination of vigilance and discretion around money. Money vigilance. A combination of vigilance and discretion around money. Many people say that money vigilance is the best money script because you're always minding your money. You're always focused on it. So I want to make sure that you find yourself in those. So we have two steps. One, your money story. What brings up shame and embarrassment? Who you're angry with about it? And then identify what your money script is. That's important because until you identify your money script and how you manage money, how you manage it may be rooted in who raised you, your upcoming, what your friends do, what your peers do. You'll want the things your peers have. So I want to make sure that you have those two things down. But in my last few minutes, here's what I also want you to do. I want you to think about goal setting. And I don't want you to set any goals. And I want you to figure out how much more money to save this year. I don't want you to think about what debts to pay off. I don't want you to think about how to get your credit score better. I don't even want you to think about investing. Those things are all great if you do. What I want you to think about, because so much has happened that we are still failing to acknowledge. A global pandemic, sickness, health, deaths, hurricanes, all of these things have happened for us. What I want you to do is I want you to think about the next best step for you and your family. And that helps reduce financial anxiety. Only think about the next best step for you and your family. Because then that reduces confusion for you. That stops all the confusion. It stops what you're looking at on the news. It stops what everybody's telling you to do on social media, including me. It stops all of that. You decide, what is my next best step? I want you to think about the best you can do in this very moment with what you already have. Because not knowing how to do better with what you already have, I don't care how much money you earn. How you manage $10 will be how you manage 1,000. How you manage 1,000 is how you manage 10,000. How you manage 10,000 is how you manage 100,000. 100,000 is how you would manage 1 million. So do those things. And I thank you for being here. I thank you for paying attention during all of these Hope Chats. I hope you understand how each of them were important. Again, I thank Pastor Sarah for giving us a platform to really dive into such important topics. Thank you for having me.